WF Aid is the philanthropic arm of the World Federation. It looks at providing humanitarian aid to those around the world and works in international development. It works in countries including Pakistan, India, Lebanon, Yemen, and Africa. Our focus in the work that we do through WF Aid is around providing not just short-term support, but long-term support as well. So for example, how can we help uplift the lives of those in need? So some of our projects include economic upliftment, microfinance projects, education, and it's a host of activities that we do to help those in need.
The project for the internally displaced people in Iraq was thought about in December 2015, when we realized that there were over 3.3 million internally displaced people in Iraq. Also, when we met His Eminence Ayatollah Sistani, he expressed the need for housing these people. And we thought we could do something in this regard. And that's why, together with Al Ain Foundation, we have now got a plot about 10 kilometers within the outskirts of Karbala. It's a flat land where at the moment electricity and water services are being organized, and we hope to embark on building 100 homes for 100 families as a start.
A key focus for WF Aid is ensuring that the orphans from war-torn zones are looked after. We are working with two very good agencies in Iraq whose sole focus is to look after the children of those who have perished in this civil war in Iraq. Darul Zahra and the Al Aqila schools are doing fantastic work, and we are proud to have associated ourselves with these two agencies in ensuring that if nothing else, we are able to provide some short-term relief for these orphans as they grow up in a life without parents. In the last month only, the World Federation has been able to support the dire need of ambulances in Iraq. Through your generosity, we've been able to donate 2 fully kitted ambulances to the agencies and hospitals in Iraq, for which we are extremely grateful. And we hope that this small contribution will go a long way in making sure that lives can be saved in this dire situation that Iraq finds itself in.
Syria has gone through, again, terrible times, and is still going through terrible times at present. People have been affected. Our work is not in Syria itself. Our work is assisting the refugees who have fled the country, especially in Lebanon. In Lebanon, we work with an agency called Imam Sadr Foundation. We understand the issues that's going with the refugees at present. They go under immense torture and pain. We are trying to work with Imam Sadr Foundation, with the medical clinics that they have in place, and support them.
The project in Lebanon was based in the south of Lebanon, and the idea was to provide mental health training and mental health services for up to 1,000 Syrian refugees who are based in Lebanon. So the idea of this project was to provide mental health training to give them an opportunity to find a job, to basically re-enter into society. It's something that will actually provide long-term assistance to the families involved, rather than just providing food or just providing water, just providing short-term aid. It's something that in the long run will help them to change their lives, especially with mental health issues. A lot of the time people are unwilling to disclose these mental health issues, stuff like anxiety, depression, and it's things that they may not seem that big a deal, but they can affect people for a very, very long time.
One of the key aspects of our work in relief is ensuring that we support the refugees globally. A huge focus in the last term has been around the refugees that have come from the war-torn zone of Syria. A significant number of them are in Lebanon, and for the last number of years the relief team has worked tremendously in helping the refugees in Syria. We send monthly installments to our agencies in Lebanon to ensure that we support thousands of refugees in Lebanon, ensuring that we can provide them a better life, if at all possible, having come out of a war-torn zone like Syria.
Cup is a breakfast in school project inspired to us by Bibi Zainab alayhi salam. Camps of Imam Hussein were set on fire. It was Bibi Zainab who took the responsibility of looking after the children and the needs of the children, the vulnerability of the children. In Africa, we are finding that the children were sent to school without a breakfast. The idea was for them to have a cup of porridge so that they would have a nourished breakfast for them to stay focused. And we found that this has changed their lives as well as the attitude of the families and the children. Relief Project is one of our largest appeals for the year. The idea about Ramadan Relief is for us to give food baskets, organize iftars, food distribution, help for those people who are deprived, in terms of 100,000 people who benefit from Ramadan Relief. We give around close enough to 20,000 food baskets. We organize over 100 iftars. In 2016 alone, the appeal that we gave out was $1.4 million worth of aid. So Seniors project is focusing mainly on our seniors throughout the world. It's the name comes the deeper, aspires from Al-Qaim, from Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, literally to look after those who are vulnerable. And we have many instances where we find that the seniors of our community are neglected. And this program is literally to ensure that seniors, be it anywhere in the world, have that extra supplement income. Alliance of Refugees was formed in 2015. It's a group of organizations that got together at the height of the refugee crisis in Europe. And there was a need of pulling organizations together to literally form a united effort to go and address the huge influx of refugees that are coming through in millions. Last year, as part of the ZAR team, we've had over 100 volunteers so far who have given their time from 2 weeks to months in Lesvos. When I went out there to Lesvos, I visited those areas where the boats came, from Turkey, and it was just a sad to see those abandoned boats, the rubber dinghies, and to picture the amount of refugees coming through in desperation in the island. One had to take a step back. I actually visited the Moira camp and other camps in Lesvos, and it was a very tearful time. It was quite challenging to literally come and see how some of the conditions of the camp. They were in temporary camps.
The idea is that each flat is going to cost, I think, £14,000. 7,000 would be paid by the people who are moving in, and so we had to look at, do they have that kind of money? And the other £7,000 per flat was going to be given by the World Federation as a loan to those people. So over a period of time, they'll be repaying the £7,000, and then that money will then be reused to rehouse more people. So it's a continuous process, and the same money, the donation that is given once, will work again and again to rehouse people to own their own properties.
One of the key components of economic upliftment is to ensure that we make people homeowners. The Africa Federation, in partnership with the World Federation, has started the Askari housing project in Dar es Salaam. We are putting up a building there where this is a rent-to-own scheme, where ultimately the recipients of these properties will become house owners in 7 to 10 years by repaying the capital investment as rent over that period. At the end of that period, they own the property, and we would have put those people on the housing ladder. This project would not have been possible without the philanthropic help of Councillor Ahmed Baidaya and the donors that he manages through his networks. It is only through such philanthropic work that we can truly uplift our community, and this is just one example of how the World Federation is trying to assist its own community members.
Muslim Charities Forum was set up some years ago to bring together leading British Muslim charities because there are a lot of benefits in coming together, in sharing things like best practices, and sharing or working together on advocacy, as well as looking at capacity building of the humanitarian sector. By being a trustee of MCF, it's basically a seat on the board of MCF that we have because we're a full member for the WF, and the World Federation then asked me as head of WF8 to go in and take on that role. And in essence what I do is I do a lot of strategic work for MCF. We give our input as WF on the board. And it also allows them to see what a wonderful Shia organization we are, the humanitarian principles that are innate or inculcated within our institution and within our people. We have a lot more networkings with organizations like the Red Cross. We have much more bridge building going on. I was asked to speak at Oxfam, one of their programs recently, so we have a good engagement there, good engagement with Médecins Sans Frontières. I think we have a little bit better representation at the UN, but I think a lot more can be done to really leverage and utilize the NGO ECOSOC membership that we have.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I've been asked to say a few words regarding my work with the World Federation. It's been an honour, it's been a pleasure. It's absolutely amazing working with people who can show clear leadership, clear vision, clear non-judgmentalism, clear non-sectarianism in the way they actually work, and openness in the way they actually work with the people around them. As Penny Appeal, we've been working with the World Federation now for a good few years in places like Afghanistan, Iraq, East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, etc. We also did some work on the borders of Syria, in Turkey, with the World Federation.
There was this one particular woman I remember who told me that she doesn't feel safe living in Lebanon because it's not her hometown, but she feels safe knowing that her children are away from war. But every night when she goes to sleep, she closes her eyes and she can still hear bombs dropping from the sky. And for her, she can't sleep, but she's just happy to know that her children are out of this war-torn country. So when you hear things like that, it really hits you as to how big an impact these mental health issues can have and how long-standing they are.